Hi, welcome to the Verizon booth. Come with me and we'll show you some of the amazing technology we've got on show here.
So we're here at the Verizon booth at CES 2012, and what are you showing?
Hi, my name is Chris Parkinson from Kopin Corporation. I'm showing off the Golden-i headset from Kopin Corporation and Motorola Solutions. This is a full mobile PC, head-mounted, worn on the head to give you hands-free command and control for industrial use cases. This is a full PC with a 15-inch display, driven by speech and head gesture control.
Full OMAP 3 here.
Technical specification-wise, yes, it's a TI OMAP 3 processor, which is a dual-core ARM and a DSP. We're running Windows embedded CE 6.0 operating system on here. We have 32 gigabytes of storage via the micro SD card on here, a mini USB connector so you can active sync up to a PC, and we have 512 megabytes of internal flash and RAM. And then this is a little video camera that streams video as well.
So what kind of demo do you have running here at the booth?
The demonstration we're showing off at the Verizon booth today is a public safety demonstration, where we wear it on the head and I take the role of a police officer roaming the streets of the CES halls.
And it's actually working.
It's actually working, and I'd like to show you this demonstration. All right.
So here you're syncing to a screen behind you using Bluetooth?
Correct, yes. You see the screen behind me, it's projecting exactly what I'm seeing. Now what we're doing, remember the Golden-i headset here is actually generating all the content. It's doing all the hard work, so it's not like we're remotely controlling a PC, we're just sending the image over. Now what you notice, the icons on the bottom row are scrolling left and right. That's in response to my head movement. I just have to turn my head slightly left or slightly right, and the icons move. So that's one of the ways you interact with this device. The other way to interact with it is with speech technology. So all I need to do is say the name of an icon. Public safety. So we're going to start up the public safety demonstration that's been shown here at Verizon. This scenario is all about me being a police officer, wearing the device and being in command and control of security cameras. Command Core Mobile. So, as a police officer now, I'm walking up and down the aisles of CES, and in front of me I have a map. It's a map of the CES show floor, Command Core Mobile. What you notice is, again, if I turn my head left or right, I can scroll around through the map. Now, shortly I'm going to be alerted of an incident that's happening on the show floor. There it is. View Event 1. I can now find out there is an alert, a police alert that's gone out about a missing child. It tells me the missing child was last seen at section 232. So as a diligent police officer, I'm going to rush over there and start to investigate. Previous. And what we notice is, on the way, there's a security camera shown on my map. So I can bring up the feed of that. View camera 1. So I can bring up the live streaming video camera feed. This is coming from a security camera up on the booth here. That one? Yes, that's the one.
And you see that in the headset?
And it's coming in over LTE, down into my belt-worn device, and then up over Bluetooth into my headset. So I'm able to view this in real time as I'm walking to the scene of the crime. So
you can control it?
It allows me to get full situational awareness. But more than that, I can control the camera. Watch this. Pan right. Pan right. So as you see on the camera here, we're able to move around here. Level 1. Let's zoom out of this. Level 1. Pan left. Level 2.
What do you say? Zoom in there?
Yes, I'm commanding it to go in and out. So I'm able to do this whilst I'm still walking to the event. So I get full situational awareness thanks to Golden-i. And at the same time, this little camera here is collecting everything I see and streaming me back to my command and control center so people can be aware of what I'm up to. And that really is the power of Golden-i in the public safety scenario.
So how long time did it take you to program this demo?
Oh, this demo. Oh, it's probably about 2 weeks to crank this demo out.
And this is a demo like you collaborated with Verizon
Yes, this is a joint effort between the different partners here. We have Verizon, who are providing the LTE backbone. We have Kopin, who provide the Golden-i device. This device will be available towards the end of the year through Motorola Solutions as a fully ruggedized industrial device rated to IP65.
It's going to be smaller than this, no? When it gets released?
It will actually be a little bit larger than this because it will be rugged and more robust. It will be drop-proof. It's designed for harsh environments, so it will be a little bit stronger built than this one.
Absolutely. So what we're really showing people today is how Golden-i can actually be used in different applications for mechanics, for medical practitioners, for field service mechanics, for public safety. And what does it mean to have a headset computer, and what can you do with it? And how do you scroll? How do you gesture? How do you communicate with other people? And that's what we're showing today.
So we can show here, we can see what you actually see in the
Absolutely.
Golden-i. So here, when you're moving your head, we can see what you see, right?
You can see us scrolling and panning through head gestures. I can go to my documents and say select camera 1 and pan and zoom in real time. Window close. Previous. Previous. Going back to my main menu. Mechanic.
So what would this, for example, be used for?
And this helps mechanics take a look at check engine. So now I can go through the diagnostics of the engine while I'm fixing in real time and my hands are free to do the work. I can look at the schematics and I can still concentrate on what I'm working on. So again, my hands are free. Engine is overheating. So now I can diagnose the engine that's overheating, use schematic, bring up the documentation that I need, read it, window close, go back and get different type of help, previous, and go back to my main menu as I'm diagnosing and trying to fix an engine with my hands free. I can see what I'm doing, I can see how to look at my manuals, my specifications, and I can still perform my work. And that's what's really, really compelling about headset computing technology. I can see PC information with my hands free doing my job.
So all these companies this in the industry would want to have customized application just for their use.
Absolutely.
And like specifically for what they need. And it's just one app. It could be just one app for one industry, another app for another.
Yeah, absolutely. Think service and maintenance and repair for anyone that has airplanes, vehicles, trucks, boats. Anyone who has technical services, looking at utilities plants, telecommunications. So we have different ways of accessing the information, all hands-free. And I can go back, I can say previous, previous. And I can check different components of the system. Check steering and handling. So now I can go into the steering compartment. Steering wheel shakes. I get audio information and visual information to help me fix and solve a problem.
So we're here with Jeffrey Jacobson. So this is your idea, right?
Yes, this was basically conceived for the first time at the end of 2006, and I started with a blank piece of paper in my office. And at the time, there was concerns about the fact that the processor would consume too much energy. That speech technology didn't really work because a lot of people had had a bad experience. No monocular system had ever been a successful system before. Consequently, doing something that was speech-oriented that required noise cancellation and also would be completely wireless and run multiple wireless radios at the time was considered a major leap of faith. Fortunately, I work for a very interesting man named John Fenn, who is the president, CEO, and founder of Kopin Corporation, and he and I have had several very successful business ventures before. So he called me back after we discussed this. 2 weeks later, he said, "Come out and see me. Let's see what we can do." So since then, I've built an entire ecosystem and a team around that. We're currently strategically partnered as advanced development partner with TI for the OMAP processor and the related ICs that go with that platform. We're an advanced development partner with Microsoft, with Nuance. We work with Motorola Radio. Basically, when you look at the list of technology partners that we work with, they're number one in the world at what they do. Now we have a business relationship with Motorola. Motorola will be bringing out later this year a fully ruggedized industrial strength Golden-i headset. Survive underwater, survive in snow and sleet. And we're building a relationship right now with Verizon and Ericsson for different market spaces.
So you basically knew that the dominant eye system is the way that works.
Everyone has a dominant eye. Just like people are left-handed or right-handed. You naturally, if you're right-handed, grab a wrench and use it in your right hand. But if your right hand were broken and you needed to use a wrench, you'd use your left hand. And in a matter of a few days or a few weeks, it would feel just as comfortable in your left hand as it does in your right. Most people don't know that normal natural vision, the human only sees with one eye or the other. But it switches between the two eyes so quickly. It's like a seamless motion picture.
So this is a dashboard for people's lives, or what is this? How do you describe it?
Spontaneous, ubiquitous conductivity. You've got Bluetooth 2.1, Bluetooth 3.0, Bluetooth 4.0. You've got Wi-Fi A, B, G, and N, 2.45 gigahertz and 5.8 gigahertz. Now you've got 3G and 4G. You've got just about every kind of commercial radio there is. So there isn't a device out there that you can't interface with if it will allow you to.
But that's a huge amount of technologies in there. And how did you find the right people in the team? How could you make it happen?
I've been building companies and working in startup companies for nearly 30 years now. I've been through 3 successful startups that have gone public, including Kopin. Over the period of time working with professional people, I've found a few people that you consider very unique, very capable. You remember those people as you move from one project or one company to another. In addition to that, those people know people. So we've been able to attract some of the best talent that I know of in the world. For example, you go to a company like Nuance Technology and say, okay, you're the biggest in speech, we'd like to work with you. And the first thing that they tell you is that, well, noise cancellation isn't a good idea because it never works with our speech platform. And you say, well, but I don't want to have to push a button to talk. I just want it to be there when I want to use it. I don't want to have to go like this every time I want to do something with a machine. I want it to be completely hands-free. So I said, I want to have an open mic that's on all the time. I want it to be able to separate all the noise. So if you link up a Golden-i to your cell phone, you make a phone call, you could be in a buzzsaw factory or at the show floor and it would sound like you're in a soundproof room.
So it's constant noise cancellation.
Yes.
It just follows you around. Always listens to you.
Just like right now, when I'm not using the system, it goes to sleep. And if I'm not giving it specific commands, it ignores my conversation.
So how many do you think are going to be sold this year? How big is this project going to be?
In the initial product coming out, which is a very ruggedized industrial strength type of device, used by people who work in utilities, who work in automotive repair and maintenance, people who climb down underground cavernous corridors, and people who have to use one or both hands in order to function. These people need mobile computing. They also need communications. They also need to be able to just talk amongst themselves when they're working on a team. Those are the people that are initially going to buy these, because the initial systems coming out are industrial, ruggedized systems. But that will be followed shortly by some professional type systems. Systems that I would use in my daily life. Systems that are small enough to fit in my pocket. This is the next frontier. This is the next generation of what you're looking at here. I mean, you're looking at a developer's platform right here. You're not even looking at a finished product. But yet this developer's platform was tested under the same kinds of rigors that Motorola puts their normal ruggedized machines through.
You only made a few hundred of these, right?
Yes, this is a development platform. It's used for people that are doing software development, who are looking at how it interfaces with legacy equipment and software, and people that want to do deployment exercises.
So there's gonna be like a faster, smaller, lighter, and consumer.
Faster, smaller, lighter, consumer. Probably operate in different operating systems because different people have different requirements.
How small can it be?
Properly refined, it's about the volume of 2 standard Bluetooth headsets.
On one side of your head right there.
Yeah.
And so Kopin does everything in here, right? You do the screen. That's one of the strengths of Kopin,
Well,
right?
that's a very strong statement. Do everything. We stand on the shoulder of giants. This wouldn't be possible if it weren't for companies like TI. It wouldn't be possible if it weren't for companies like Nuance or Micron for memories, or I can go through a list, Aptiva for sensors, for making cameras, a list of software and development people that work with us and collaborate with us because we operate in a very small, very fast-moving team. So we integrated all the technologies. We took the Nuance software and we slightly modified it, and we added a xenolinguistic mutating algorithm which listens to the way you say syllables, vowels, and consonants. And it works across all languages. And that's why this system will self-train in a matter of just a few commands. And you take, for example, if you go outside the United States, people finish a prayer, they say, Amen. You come to the United States, people say, Amen. If you go into a men's store in California and you ask, where are your khakis? They'll point you at the slacks. You go into a men's store, as I experienced recently in Boston, with a blue blazer in hand and say, where are your khakis? And the guy reaches in his pocket and pulls out his car keys. Because khakis and khakis are the same. You need a speech system that can recognize the difference, and every time that person who speaks with a Boston accent, the system understands what he's saying and does what it's supposed to do, not get confused.
So these head-mounted displays have been in progress on the development for how long?
I initiated the very first head-mounted display development work with the federal government for the Department of Defense use through DARPA in 1991. I came up with a concept for how Kopin makes and manufactures its displays, and with the money from the government and then now money from commercial customers, we have been able to build out a fairly extensive set of factories both here and overseas.
So how many of these head-mounted displays have you made?
Over 30 million.
Over 30 million head-mounted displays?
Yes.
Used by who?
They're used, you say, they're not necessarily all head-mounted. You look at companies like Nikon or Panasonic or Samsung or LG, Kodak. You can go through a list of very well-known companies that have used these. But on the other hand, when you go to the military side, Raytheon, Boeing, Lockheed, General Dynamics, practically everybody that you would list as a prime military manufacturer. And right now, Kopin supplies 98+% of all the fielded microdisplays used by the U.S. government. So that means the F-22 fighter, the F-35, it means the rotorcraft, it means all the gun scopes and all the few sensor scopes used by the Army. So we have extensive background in building systems like this for military and for spooks, basically
Spooks.
secret agents.
So you work for James Bond and the CIA?
You know, I can't tell you who I work for. But it's the usual suspects.
So people say that the iPhone Retina display is a huge DPI, but it's peanuts compared to your DPI.
Well, if you consider the fact that I can put 2560 by 2048 on an inch, 1 square inch, and that's, 4 times HDTV. That's 1 inch. It's 4
1
times
inch?
Yeah.
4 times HDTV.
Right. But those displays, more difficult to build, more expensive, and they're directed at military applications or very strategic science applications.
Astronauts.
Yes, astronauts would be one of those.
So you're in space?
Yes, we're in space. we're underwater. We're like Mercedes, land, sea, and air.
But now you're democratizing basically James Bond technology. You're going to make it more available.
Yes, we're taking what we consider to be state-of-the-art technologies, and we're figuring out how to properly integrate those into a system that's seamless, that's hands-free, that I can use to do anything I want to do. Repair a bicycle at home, work on my car, walk down the street at night and not feel concerned about my safety, because I can look down a dark alley and see as though it's daylight, even though I'm not projecting any illumination that anyone can see.
This is worldwide top-of-the-art technologists.
Yes.
Yourself and the company, right? I mean,
yes.
Very few people can work in that field.
There are probably many, many very good people. What I've been able to do is assemble an extremely good team. I have an individual who's as good as anyone in the world in industrial design, materials, machining, molding, vacuum forming. I have another person who's extremely good at the integration of software, even at different platforms. I have another person who is recognized as a world expert in regulatory certification, RF, and debugging electronics. So when you combine 4 or 5 of us together, we're like a Navy SEAL team. We all have our own specialties which overlap, and then we use other forces, we use other organizations, even outside our own company, to augment that with the talents of people like yourself.
And it's fun.
We have more fun than anybody. I mean, it's amazing that we get paid to do what we do.
So these are cameras, special cameras you could add to it?
We've been developing a series of cameras with different capabilities. For example, this camera that you have here. This camera you can exchange the lenses on, so you can put zoom lenses on, or you can put fixed field of view lenses on. This has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi in it, so it's a standalone camera. It has its own power supply.
So you would put it up there?
Yes. You can see that little clip right there?
The slot? It can...
Yes. It just snaps right in, right where the same place where that camera goes, this camera goes. Now, this isn't as small as it could be. This is a development platform again. Yeah. But you'll notice that it also has its own USB port. It has its own micro SD card. So, for all intents and purposes, this is the equivalent of the entire computer system and wireless radio system I have on.
There's a OMAP 3 in there?
Yes, there's an OMAP 3 in it.
All right.
Now, the light that's on here can be adjusted to be... let's set this down without hurting it. That would be great. If you wouldn't mind holding that for me. Like that. This is designed so that when you're working, you can pull this off of your head and continue to operate it wirelessly. If I want to look up over a wall, I can stick it on a pole. If I want to look down underneath someplace where I can't stick my hand, I can focus it in there. If I need light, I can turn on the light. Now, I can adjust that light to various levels of illumination. But if I've got this on my head, I can pull the light off, and I can put the light wherever I want the light to be. And then I can turn right around, put the light back on there.
Nice. What are these cameras over there?
Well, this is a state-of-the-art. It's a germanium lens. This is a thermal imager at VGA resolution. Thermal imager, which means that I can look through and around things that you couldn't normally see with the human vision. This is a 6.5 millimeter to 13.5 millimeter wavelength IR camera. It weighs 28 grams, 1 ounce. This can be snapped up here with another one that looks just like it, which has its own back-end electronics and its own battery. And now you have a standalone camera system that operates in visible light, near IR, and far IR. And with that comes an illumination system that not only provides normal bright white light, can also provide IR illumination. So for example, a policeman or a security person can enter into a totally black environment, flip that on, and in his display, everything looks like daylight. Nobody can see it.
And that one?
This camera here is a magnesium-housed 8-megapixel camera. You'll see it often with some police officers that have been wearing it. It fits very close and conformal to the side of your head.
Nice. Cool.
So we have a selection of cameras. They can be combined in different ways. Most all the cameras that we work with are removable, they're wireless, so I can actually work with multiple cameras and position them in certain places, and then access them, bring them up on my screen, turn them on and off, adjust the illumination from wherever I am. enlarge the image as large as I want. I can make it as small as I want. I can put up multiple screens, so instead of having a 150-inch
Hey. So, a little bit busy?
Always busy, always busy. Yeah, definitely. How's your unit working out?
It's working awesome.
No, good.
Thanks a lot for setting up the live chat system and live video streaming. And you did that all in like 5 minutes. It was so easy to set up.
That's good.
Are we gonna? I mean, this is a work in progress, and you're gonna make it smaller.
Oh yeah. No, it's so good, so good. Yeah, we've got a few months to work on this, so that's good. Very good.
So it's funny, like everybody is amazed trying it, right? Everybody tries it, and everybody goes crazy.
Eyes get wide. I mean, the ideas are whirring around, and everyone has a different idea of how they want to use it. Very cool. Very exciting.
So how is the contrast between sitting in the office, maybe somewhere? Are you in the office or at home?
Yeah, we have an office.
Office, and you sit in the office, you sit and work on trying to make stuff work in Windows CE there and here and there, and some packing here and there. And then how is the contrast between that and coming to a show where everybody like go crazy and you have huge sounds going on and explosions and is that contrast?
Well, it's very exciting.
It stimulates your imagination, doesn't it? Because we come here with loads and loads of ideas, and then other people are coming to see us, and they're bringing their own ideas to us. So we're going away with more than we came with.
But is it like what's it called, uplifting, or what do you call it?
Definitely.
Is it like? Is it super cool, or what is it?
Because we live and breathe this every day, and you get used to it. But when you start to see people who have never used the unit before, the first time they see it, it's just amazing. Always positive reactions, always positive.
And there are only 200 of these made in the world.
Yes.
So it needs to be 200 million or 200,000.
Stay tuned.
Or at least 20,000 or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah.
This will be going into mass production sooner rather than later. Yeah.